I remember I said it the last time that they don't know how to. I'm not sure they have what it takes to break down teams that play deep. You know, Newcastle
low block.
sometimes, yeah, Newcastle sometimes can approach their games like that. If they do that against, yeah, Chimo, how are you, man? How's
But
your
I'm doing
week?
fine. How about you?
Good, boss. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, still, you guys escaped narrowly yesterday.
honestly, you know,
So,
I'm still not comfortable with you know, with the progress we are making, but let's keep our finger crossed. We're just buying anything buyable these days, but it's
it's easier to make a list of players Chelsea is not signing this summer than the ones that they have signed.
I don't know if the man is probably not into winning trophies as he is to buy players with the intention to sell.
I say Chelsea is not a balanced sport. Chelsea fans want to kill me. They say I'm being biased, but their team is still signing. That means it's crazy, man. Let's go, guys. Yep, we're here again, back again, guys. Thank our viewers. I can see the activities on our comment section is improving. And before I start, I want to remind our viewers the report we have on our channel shows that 60% of our viewers are not subscribed to this channel. That means you guys are getting carried away by the quality of what we are doing and forgetting to subscribe. Please, if you have not, go ahead and hit the subscription button right now before we start and like this content. Last week was a heated one here as envisaged. Chima killed with all guns blazing. It was a heated one. I had fun. I had a lot of fun last week reviewing the games for last weekend. We look forward to having another fun time tonight, reviewing the games for the weekend. We'll probably also look briefly into the transfer madness in the last 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, the Champions League the draws was done today. If we have time, we'll touch base with that as well to look at the possible qualifications from the group. It looked like English teams we are lucky with the draw. So yeah, we're here today basically or mainly to preview the games for the weekend. It looks like it's going to be another what we call tasty weekend in the EPL. The fixtures look very tasty. It looks like the season, there's no much difference between so many teams in the EPL this time around because of the quality the teams have. So we are looking forward to another interesting episode, another interesting show today. And I ask you guys to stay tuned and ride this boat with us. I'm here today for now with my man Ugum, my regular partner in crime, as I say. Chima, the diehard, the rock Chelsea fan is here, holding his own as usual, ready to bite and take care of anything that crosses the Stamford Bridge. So, guys, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was waiting for Ugum to respond before I come in because viewers, I welcome you guys. I went through the comment section last time, and I discovered that majority of the people that are following this program agreed with me that I was tag teamed last time. I was getting kicked left, right, and center by people I would tag, people that see themselves as family, But I'm here believing that I can always hold my own, all things being equal. I still thank the moderator, I thank Ugum, they bring out the best in me. I believe that viewers will enjoy today's episode also. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you, Chima. Well, a very nice way to start the show. It was fireworks in our last show, and that's what we're here for. We're here to keep everyone informed, keep everyone entertained, and look forward always to being on Transit TV. We want to make this show and make this channel a steady supplier of the best of entertainment as far as discussing sports and football is concerned. So welcome. Let's rock and roll.
Yes, guys. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, before we go into the games for the weekend, I want us to spend the first 5 minutes, looking into transfer activities in the last 24, 48 hours. Like I said, as we are starting now off, as I was saying, telling my guys that when I say that Chelsea squad is not balanced, though they've signed almost everybody in Europe, Chelsea fans, we are getting on my back. But you can see your team is still signing players, and I still want to sign more. Chelsea just got Kopama from Syria, 40 million and 5 million add-ons. They're also in for a couple of two other players they are expecting to come in before the end of the transfer window. Liverpool just signed a Gravenberch from Bayern Munich for 40 million. Very talented young man. Lukaku has left Chelsea on a season-long loan to Roma on a 10 million pounds deal. And I hear one of the conditions of the deal was Chelsea agreed to put a release clause of 38 million at the end of the season for him in case any team wants to sign him, and he's going to take a pay cut to get to make that deal come to pass, And United is almost, if not by the time I'm making this recording, assigned Cucurella from Chelsea because of the injured what's this guy's name again? It's off my head. They're left back. Then no, United.
Okay.
Then United is also talking to Tottenham for Højbjerg. They are also expecting Amrabat to join United before the end of this transfer, hopefully by tomorrow. There is so much going on in the transfer window. Fabrizio has also tagged the deadline day as a Barcelona day because they're looking to bring in Cancelo, and one or two players might be leaving Barcelona as well. We expect Ansu Fati to join Brighton by close of business tomorrow. So there's so much that is still going to happen in this window, though we are barely 24 hours to the end of the transfer window. So, guys, what have you made about some of these movements in this late hour in the transfer window? 2 days ago as well, there was strong rumor that Chelsea was inquiring about Smith Rowe from Arsenal as a swap deal for Bukayo Modric. What's your take on some of these movements in EPL?
The Modric one, I think, is just a rumor that people started to because they know that there will be reactions when you talk about swapping Modric with Emil Smith Rowe. First of all, it's really Modric just joined Chelsea in January, right? I know that a lot of players join and leave Chelsea, but it's never been a case where a player joins in January and by summer you spend 100 million on a player by January, and by summer you want to get rid of the person. That's impossible. So I never really paid any attention to that. What I paid attention to was the rumor really that Chelsea are interested in Emil Smith Rowe, which is not far-fetched. Smith Rowe is a good player, cerebral attacking midfielder that can actually score goals and will be a very productive person if he gets a transfer to Chelsea. So, and knowing that the money is there and Chelsea are willing to spend it, made me uncomfortable because Emil Smith Rowe is a guy that I rate very highly. And right now he's not getting a look in the Arsenal team. So it's easy for those rumors to come up. But, I'm reassured hearing that Arsenal have said that they're not willing to sell him. Arteta has said that he's part of his plan. So, I've moved on from that story.
Yeah, Chelsea. Chima, what's going on in Chelsea? There's still a lot of movement in and out in Chelsea. Can you give us some,
Well,
Confirm information.
we are just we are in the Chelsea family. We are confused. It seems even this evening we were discussing that it seems there's a lot of money in the owner's pocket. If he's looking for places to put money, we have 1 million Chelsea fans in Houston who is looking for a viewing center. Let him just come and buy a viewing center for us, and throw party for us Chelsea fans here rather than buying every Dick and Harry he sees in the market, in the transfer market. I presently, I don't feel too comfortable with what we have in our lineup as Chelsea players that will chase these lorries that is in Premiership. I am pleased with I heard about Palmer, that the City guy that Chelsea is looking at.
They already
Also,
signed him.
huh?
They already signed him.
Yeah, he's been signed. I'm saying that all these signings is a good sign. Is a good signing for Chelsea. This other opinion of Barcelona, the guy that we were pursuing, I don't know if Barcelona truly want to let him go, because he's a very good player. But if we can get such a player, it will be a good addition. If Sterling is operating from the right and he is operating from the left, we'll have a whole lot of quality players. But as it is now, I'm still confused as to our line of thought in terms of the signings that we're doing in Chelsea.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Like you said, Chelsea will never until the transfer window shuts. Chelsea will keep signing players. So we see how it goes. So let's get on with the games for the weekend. Oh, like I said, you have some interesting fixtures this weekend. Well, we're going to start with Burnley is going to be playing at home against Tottenham Hotspur. Burnley has 0 points in the league. They've played only two games. I think one of their games was postponed. They scored 4 goals and conceded 5. They scored 5 goals and conceded 4. So they have 1 goal. If they're sitting, think what position they're on the league. Let me see. Only they're sitting pretty 18th on the league table. They put it into relegation battle already. Spurs on the other hand has 7 points. They are third on the league table. Score 6 goals and conceded 2. So if you're looking at this one on paper, Spurs should be able to run away with 3 points in this game. But we know that in the EPL, you can never write any team off. Like I said, before I give my thoughts on the league, I want to let you guys, give it a shot before I can say, Ugun, what do you think about this one? What's your expectation?
What game is that?
Burnley is going to be playing at home to Spurs.
To Tottenham. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Burnley are still trying to find their feet in the league. They're still a bit too open. I think they want to play expansive football. And in the EPL, you need to just make sure you don't concede goals anyhow. If you concede goals anyhow, before you know what's going on, you'll be battling relegation and you get more and more sucked in. So Burnley, as much as they have Vincent Kompany, with all the pedigree and with the way they streamed road through the championship last year and qualified to get to the EPL, they will need to, a reality check to know to just calm down and get, protect their goalposts first and make sure that they don't get scored against much, and then they can build from there. Tottenham, on the other hand, are playing real expansive football under Ange. Unfortunately for them, midweek, they ended up losing the game. He played his second team, and the sports fans were up in arms saying, hey, this is only a major chance of a trophy, and you wasted it by rotating your squad for what? Exactly. Especially as the international break is next week. So, yeah. So let's see how that game goes. It's going to be interesting, but I think that Spurs in current form, with the way Besuma is playing, will likely win the game.
Chima, any thoughts on this one?
Well, I don't want to, write Burnley off. I don't want to write them off at all because this is just their third game in the season. They started very well. If you let's not like I don't know, it's the moderator that said that in EPL you don't totally you don't use a wave of hand to talk about any team. Their first match against City was very, very competitive until I felt that the referee was unjust to them, that gave City advantage. Immediately City scored their first goal, all hell was let loose. Company showed character in their first game. So it's just 2 games that they've played. Not that I'm giving them I'm not saying that they're gonna win the game, but anything can happen. Tottenham is not like an almighty side. They don't have no big name now. So, like I said, I can close my eyes and say Tottenham will win, but will not be surprised if Burnley gets some points from that game.
Yeah, for me on this one, I believe, like I said earlier, the only thing I have issues with Burnley on, if you remember, after their first game in the season, I said Vincent Kompany is experienced in EPL to know that you can't just come for championship and try to compete with the big guns putting the ball on the floor and playing. You got to find a pragmatic way to put the points on the table. Then you can gradually develop your team into a ball-playing team. We have seen a lot of teams, especially Fulham 3 seasons ago, tried that and they went back to relegation. So for Burnley to get anything, I see what Company is trying to do with the team. They play good football, but if he wants to stay in EPL next season, then he has to find a pragmatic way to get results. Try to sometimes sit back, soak pressure, and hit teams on a counter. That's the only way I think they can get anything from this game, or except one of those days that you have a bad day at the office and Tottenham are not on it. Burnley, yeah, to be fair enough, I agree with Chima against City. They created chances. They broke City down. They had chances to score goals, but the final ball let them down. If they can improve on that and be a little bit solid defensively, because I believe against City as well, the goals they considered were very, very cheap goals. So if Company can work on some of these things, he has a quality and the team plays together. They play like a team. So they can actually hurt any team in EPL, but the mentality needs to be a little bit more conservative for them to get anything from this game. Then we move to Chelsea. Chima, we are at the doorstep, we are at the bridge. Chelsea is playing at home against Nottingham Forest. Very, very interesting game. This is a very tricky one that I believe Chelsea needs to be careful about and not mess around and take their chances, because it looks like Chelsea is still finding it difficult to open scoring in games. Chima, so what's your thought on this one? How do you think this is going to pan out?
Well, Forest is not a team to write off. They've shown that they mean business. As a Chelsea fan, I will just, like you said, I will just plead with my team to take their chances whenever they get it. Because if we are playing this, if we are very lethargic, like our last game that I saw against Wembley, then I was like, what is happening? Even big names like Enzo did not impress me in that game. You will see even Gallagher that has, he had a good scoring chance to score that, for a quality player like him, he should at least get a reaction from the keeper. Let the keeper have a good save. You don't balance with the keeper and play a wide shot that will not even find the 4 walls of the post. So I will always give it to Chelsea, but they need to sit up and be up and doing. That's what I feel about our game with Nottingham Forest.
Chima, would you sell Gallagher at this point? I hear that he might likely leave tomorrow. If you have the choice, would you like to keep him or sell him?
Well, the truth is that he has been given enough chance to establish himself. He has not been able to do that. But who is gonna if you sell him, who do you have? I don't see him as a player with character, but at the same time, who is there? That's just the question. If I have a better player, I will sell him because he has been given opportunity to establish himself. And he has never been able to do that. But the point is, if you sell him, who's going to be there? That's the question.
Sometimes, just I hear you, but sometimes there's questions about some players. You worry if the player is the problem or the system they find themselves. I remember Gallagher when he went on loan to, I think it was Everton, Crystal Palace. They wanted to sign him. Chelsea fans would have rioted at the stadium if Chelsea had let him, stay back at Crystal Palace because of what the kind of job that he did in that team. So coming back to Chelsea, it seems to, you see flashes of that talent, that potential there when he's playing, but I think it looks more like a confidence thing, and he has been used everywhere. So probably the coach needs to give him some confidence by making him play a particular role for some time to establish himself and have confidence in what. Sometimes he plays defensively, sometimes he's used, like in the last game, I think he was used as a 10 or something like that, which is an area he hasn't really found himself before, operating from. Most of the time he's used as a double pivot in Chelsea. So it's something that needs to be worked upon. Obviously, the potentials are there, but something is just not clicking for him. I understand how you feel as a Chelsea fan. We'll have some of those players too. It's just like Edin Ketia and Reece Nelson. You don't want to see them go, but at the same time, you don't feel they're good enough. So I agree with you. I share emotions on that one. Ugu, do you have any thoughts on the game? Chelsea at home to Forest.
I think it will be a tricky game. It will be a tricky game for Chelsea, just like Forest, where a game against Arsenal was a tricky game for Arsenal. Forest is a team that, and the same thing happened to United. If not for a dodgy penalty decision, United would have drawn against them. They are a team that can be dangerous, especially with Taiwo Awoniyi playing. He scored in every game so far. And, he's fast, tenacious. He's going to keep the defenders of Chelsea really busy. So now they're fortified. They just bought Callum Hudson-Odoi. They just signed him tonight, right? Mm-hmm. So if he's ready to play, that's another key person that can really give you problems. They've signed Nuno Tavares. And Nuno Tavares, for his defensive frailties, if he, bears down that left flank, he can put in crosses, he can, run you down. They have some potent guys that will give people a lot of issues. And I hear they might be chasing Ibrahima Sangare, highly rated midfielder for PSV Eindhoven, that plays like Thomas Partey. So yeah, let's see what happens. It's going to be a testy game for Chelsea, but I think that Chelsea have started testing the victory bug. They've won 2 on the trot, and they'll be up for it. So look forward to that.
Yeah, for me, it's a very tricky game, like you guys have already said. I mean, Nottingham Forest has managed to score 5 goals in 3 games. Is whether they win them or lose them is for me is an achievement in EPL. Chelsea, and this one is interesting in the sense that Nottingham Forest look to be solid defensively, or they approach their games in a very compact manner and hit teams on a counter. So Chelsea have been finding it difficult to break down teams or to take chances. They create chances, but they can't take them. If Nottingham Forest play to their strength the way they've been playing, it's going to be a problem for Chelsea, because Chelsea seem to have gaps behind them. I know they are brought in Moses Caicedo, who is supposed to be protecting the defense. He looks to me like he's still trying to settle down. We know his quality, we know his potentials. We know every team in EPL would love to have a Caicedo, but at this moment, it's not still 100% the Caicedo we saw in Brighton. So which makes it possible for any team to still get at Chelsea. Nottingham Forest has proved to be a team that are very fast in transition. They are very effective in counter. they've scored goals in every game they have played. So looking at that, it now depends on who has scored who. So Chelsea has to be very careful and wary of this one. The bumping forward of Ben Chilwell might have to be with caution this time, because if you leave gaps behind you, these guys will exploit it. That's the only way they know how to play. Especially when they play against the big teams, they sit back and try to hit you on the counter. It just has not been effective in teams that play this way. So I believe it's going to be an interesting one. The good thing for Chelsea is that they're playing at home. In front of their fans, the support of the fans are there. Like Wum rightly mentioned, they just won 2 games. They won their EFL game and they won their last EPL game. So confidence is in the team right now. Pochettino, with his experience, I expect him not to make too many changes from the team that played last weekend, so that to start to build some relationships and cohesion in the team. So it looks like it's going to be a game that's going to have goals. But he will now wait and see who will score who and grab the 3 points, or probably end in a draw. So that's how I see this one. And we move to Brighton will be hosting Newcastle. Brighton is sitting 6th on the table with 6 points after 3 games. Newcastle, surprisingly, are 13th on the table. They have played 3 games. I think they won only 1, lost 2, have 3 points and 2 goals. It was the interesting thing, the game they won, they scored a lot of goals. So they have +2 goal advantage. Brighton, on the other hand, has won 2 games and lost surprisingly at home to West Ham 3-1. So this one looks like it's going to be a very, very interesting game. Newcastle, we know when they play any team that is below the top 4 or the big 6, they tend to be expansive. They tend to attack. They look good in the eye. Of course, we all know that Newcastle is a team that is filled up with warriors. Defensively, they are strong, have a good goalkeeper. They attack, they can score goals when they decide to play expansive football. Brighton, on the other side, on the other hand, are a team as well. We know a very, very interesting, exciting team. They attack you. They play like a team. They are compact too. So this one looks very, very much like behind United and Arsenal this weekend. The second most interesting game that we're going to look forward to watching this weekend. I won't want to miss this game, because it poses, if you look at the statistics for the 2 teams, they have scored a lot of goals this season already. So which means it's going to be an exciting game, and they're going to score goals. They have considered as well. So I look forward to a very technical game, a game that you have to take your chances, because if you don't, you might, likely might lose the game, or lose your lead. So I don't know how you guys see this one panning out, or what you think is going to happen in the game. What do you think?
It's going to be a nice one. I look forward to watching Brighton play Newcastle. A contrast of 2 sides. One more of a counter attacking, an ultra pressing team against a team that's actually very, very press resistant. Started from the goalkeeper to the last player that they have on that side. They will invite the press. And like Guardiola rightly said, all they do is they keep you in triangles. They isolate you to one side, use their counter pressing, quick passing to move, and before you know what's going on, they also attack. So with Ansu Fati there now, I presume he will be starting the game or something, or maybe coming in. So they've added firepower. Ferguson is a young player that I rate very highly. With Mitoma adding Ansu Fati, but then Ansu Fati also plays the same position with Mitoma. That means that one of them is going to have to switch to the right flank. And when if that happens, means that Solimash is probably going to come to the middle. So it will be interesting to see how they deploy, or maybe they will deploy this guy to the center. But at the center, they already have both Ferguson and Danny Welbeck. So we'll see how they evolve. It's going to be a nice game. It's going to be an interesting game. Newcastle, of course, we know what they bring to the table. So If I were to call, I would call this a draw. I think it's going to be a very intense game.
Yeah, Chima, you have any thoughts on this one?
Well, I honestly feel like when you look at what Newcastle, when you look at what they've done throughout the season and compare where they are on the table, you will not, it's not a fair judgment of the play they've exhibited. Their last game, I feel bad for the players because I felt like it was the inexperience of the coach that made them lose against Liverpool. It was a game they had total control. They controlled the game. They don't even need to attack. Even at the end of the day, referee gave them an additional advantage by red carding Van Dijk. But because the coach was inexperienced, that's what I believe. He made changes that was not necessary. When it didn't break, don't fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Brighton, on the other hand, is a very fantastic, free-flowing. They express themselves like inexperienced also, but they are free-flowing. They have energy and all those things. Like Ugum said, that he sees a draw. I'm giving it to Newcastle because I feel like Newcastle has depth. Not only that they have depth, they also have more determined. They might not have the most skillful, but they have more determined players. I like Joe. Is it Joe Letton or
Joe Linton?
Linton, yes, he's a very underestimated, underrated player. People don't give him credit, but he works so hard. Very, very hard. Gordon is another quality player that people. I don't know if he's an English guy. I don't know why they are not calling him at the national because I see what I see in Saka. I see it in that Gordon guy. And they are nine. This what's his name?
It's Isaac.
Isaac is a very corny, intelligent. He meanders with the ball. He has good flair. He has flamboyance in the way he controls football. I will not, if I'm the coach, except I'm winning 2-0 and it was around 80th minute. That one I'm gonna bring Wilson. Wilson is a more power plays, not much of a intelligence. He is, a bulldozer. He is a direct player, I only bring him in whenever I feel like the game is almost done. But I give it to Newcastle. That's the way I say it.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with you guys. Newcastle is very solid defensively, very, very solid. And Brighton has shown that they also can concede goals. So it could go either way. It's a serious one, though. So we see, Ugumi, you're about to say something?
No. I was about when you said that Newcastle are very solid defensively. I think that apart from City, the next team that can open up any defense anytime, any day is Brighton because of the way that they play. More so than Arsenal, actually, because they know how to do their one-touch passing right in front of your 18 before you know what's going on there in. And with a quick feet of someone like Mitoma, they always create chances.
I remember I said it the last time that they don't know how to. I'm not sure they have what it takes to break down teams that play deep. Newcastle sometimes, Newcastle sometimes can approach their games like that. If they do that against Brighton, I don't have that confidence that Brighton can break them down because it happened against West Ham. So it depends on how if Newcastle come out all guns blazing and play expansive football, open up the play. Of course, Brighton has what it takes to open them up. But if they don't go that route, it's going to be difficult for Brighton. And Brighton will be tempted to come out because they're playing in front of their fans. They want to entertain their fans and give them a good game to watch. So it's going to be an interesting one. I will look forward to seeing how this one is going to pan out. Then we'll move to Liverpool. Are going to host Aston Villa. Aston Villa is a team that did very well last season and so far has had a very good transfer window as well. I expect them to be a power to contend with this season, but surprisingly they have lost one game to Newcastle. Newcastle beat them 5-1. It was a very huge surprise of the season so far. So I don't know how to look at this one. Just like what we have said already, Aston Villa has technicians in the team. They have quality in their team. Emery has built this team well. He has managed to develop the squad. I have good players in the team. On a very good day, Aston Villa can give any team in EPL, including City, a run for their money. So it's not going to be a game that Liverpool will run away with, though they're playing at home. In terms of strength in depth, I think Aston Villa even has more quality numbers than Liverpool. Yes, first 11, Liverpool is better, but in terms of depth, I don't think the Liverpool is better than them in that area. So if the game stretches out, they might tend to have more. And I expect them also to give Liverpool a run for their money because Liverpool still don't have a strong shield for their defense. We know Van Dijk is not going to be there next weekend because he had the red card. He's going to miss 2 games. Already their defense is shaky. You take Van Dijk out of it. Yeah, I know Ollie Watkins will not have a better chance to play against Liverpool than a time like this. So I believe it's going to be a tricky game for Liverpool. It's going to be an interesting game for the fans to watch. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know what you guys think about this video. Do you agree with me or you have different thoughts?
It's going to be interesting. Aston Villa, you know, I just watched a highlight of their last game. These guys put together a 19 pass move that ended up in the goal. 19 passes. I think that Newcastle caught them. It was the first game of the season, you know, caught them on a bad day at the office. I think they've recollected themselves. I trust Unai. He recollected his side and then went into the transfer market again and reinforced, right, with players. So now they just added. I was watching what they did with Diaby being a very key component of their side now. Their central defense is now Carlos Roberto, that was bought from Sevilla, and Pau Torres, that was bought from Villarreal.
And
So
Douglas Lewis also is doing
and
some very dirty
Douglas
job in
Lewis
that
is just
midfield.
just roving in the midfield. So they've really bought some nice players. Unai Emery today was saying that he's not going to let Digna, this
Digne,
French
that came from
Digna.
Everton. Yeah, very good left back. I mean, that guy, I
Yes,
love him. He runs
yes.
forward and he actually knows how to defend as
He
well.
knows how to defend. Yeah. So their team is good, and they are full of specialists. Is Reconsa, the guys that know what their roles are in the game, right? And Unai being there to guide them and all that, they will be a very tough nut for Liverpool to crack, right? I don't think that they're just going to sit back and allow Liverpool have their way. I think they're going to attack Liverpool. But on the other hand, this Liverpool team, their attack is crazy. You know, they have some, you know, really, really mobile players there. Diaz on current form, Nunes, Gatbo, and then who knows whether this guy is leaving tomorrow or not. Liverpool has said that they're not going to sell Salah, but the pressure from Saudi Arabia is immense. So
I had they dropped a bid of 150 million.
yes, and they're offering this guy 1.2 million per week. 1.2 million
a month, a year.
per week. They're offering Salah 1.2 million dollars per week. So yeah, it's it's a different level. So yeah, we'll see. This one again is going to be a tough one, but because of Liverpool's pedigree and where they are, I would call it a narrow win for Liverpool. You know, with Gravenberch now, they are on the up. They will be buoyed by the win that they had last weekend. So yeah.
But Gravenberch, is he played? Well, we don't know how fit he is. Chima, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, in as much as Aston Villa is doing great, you know, there is this character that Liverpool showed last week, playing one man down. That character I've only seen in City. You know, that character made me believe that sometimes maturity and experience and belief is all you need to win games. I'm going to give it to Liverpool. The reason I'm giving it to Liverpool, irrespective of the level of exploits, the level of showcasing, the level of, I guess, performance that Aston Villa has shown in their last two games, I will give it to Liverpool. Liverpool showed character, they showed belief, they showed maturity, they showed intent in their last game. And like I said, I've only seen that level of commitment from City. The day City played Newcastle, I removed my cap for them because they controlled the game and they told Newcastle how to play. So that's exactly what I'm not minding that Van Dijk is not playing. You know, Liverpool will live up to expectations. And with what Nunes did last week, there is some degree of belief that is, people are going to now believe that the coach should feature him more. And I've always believed in that play. I've always believed in Nunes. I've always believed in him. Yes, but I don't know why the coach oftentimes like to play him from bench. You know, so without over-elaborating it, I'm giving it to Liverpool against Aston Villa.
Well, I don't think I can call this a Liverpool win. Of course, they had the potentials to win the game, but Aston Villa, I don't know if you are really taking your time to watch them this season, those guys are too much to handle when they attack any team. The pace of the new signing, Musa Diaby, the directness of their captain, John McGinn, and the workings running in behind the defense. The defense of Liverpool that I'm looking at right now, without that Van Dijk not going to be there this weekend, I don't know how they're going to handle it. I understand except for the fact that they're playing at home to Liverpool. It's going to be very difficult for them. This game is going to be very difficult. And Ona is a coach that we know that is very, very pragmatic. As much as he's going to try to hurt Liverpool, he also tries to organize his teams. Douglas Luiz has shown that he likes to play in big games. He's a very dirty midfielder doing the work in the midfield. So it's going to be a very interesting one. Ugo, let me ask you, I know Arsenal was linked to Musa Diaby for a long time. Arsenal fans thought they was going to come in to be a backup or another option to Saka. What have you made of him, on a scale of 1 to 10? How do you rate that transfer and so far what he has done for Aston Villa?
For Aston Villa, I'll rate that transfer so far at a 7, with potential to become an 8 or even a 9. Musa Diaby is a very good player. I knew he was going to really adapt to the EPL because he is fleet-footed, very skillful, very cerebral in the fact that he's not much of a noisemaker, but once he gets on the field, put the ball on the run and see what he can do. So he's a player I badly wanted to see if my club Arsenal would buy, but unfortunately for the Aston Villa, they got him. He's going to be very productive for them. I think he scored 1 or 2 already, and many more to come. Very highly rated player, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, the young man has really flourished in Aston Villa. I think they've given him license to go forward and hurt teams. He has eye for goal, and he has actually created a lot of chances for them as well. A few that they've not managed to take. If there's any improvement I want to see from the way he has been playing so far, is it seems to not be very interested in defensive duties. I don't know if that's the license he was given in the team or it's just not part of his game, but he's doing enough going forward for one or teammate, coach, or any fans to overlook that side of things. But I know in EPL, in EPL, you have to defend as a team. Once you have one or two passengers defensively, it's always difficult to grab your points. Yeah, it has been for me, a very good transfer. In fact, when I see him play now, I begin to ask why Arsenal didn't try to get him. But of course, we also know that Arsenal has numbers as well in those positions. But he has really been a very, very good addition to the team. Chima, like I know you touched on it, but I've been saying for a little bit that club. I don't understand why club is not starting Darwin Núñez. Now, Liverpool has gone to bring Endo, who plays in the DM position, meaning that he can, and McAllister is going to be back with Szoboszlai. So now Klopp has a decision to make. If he's going to play those three midfielders, that means Gakpo, who can play from the left and play from the right or even from the middle. And he has really been doing with the last three games that Liverpool has played. If he were to be the club, what are you going to do? Because in the last game, he started Diaz on the left side, Jota in the middle, and Salah on the right side. Now you have two more players. Darwin Núñez made a case for himself by scoring 2 goals last weekend. Gakpo has been an integral member of what Liverpool has done so far this season. So how do you think a club should approach this one?
Well, the Gakpo has not been an integral part of this the season, but what is the result? That is the first question.
Yeah, he has played more in the midfield. He wasn't playing in front.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that he can also play in the front. Núñez shows flair. He shows flamboyance. Not only that he's flamboyant in his play and shows flair, he is also a confident striker. He believes in himself. And it's not only that he believes in himself, he can score goals. So I will probably bench Jota, or let Jota come from the bench, and I'll play Núñez. There's no two ways about it. I'm gonna play Núñez because not only that he scored a very tight goals last week. And there is something about players scoring goals from the bench. Oftentimes, if you are not a player that plays regularly, the tendency is for you to continue to lose confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a player with maturity and sense of belief and sense of who you are, whenever you are introduced to a game, you still show that quality that you are made of. That is what I saw in that guy last week. And I'm not gonna put him on the bench. If I'm the coach, he will start the game this weekend.
Like I said a few seconds ago, I asked him, what's his name? Gakpo has been very, very integral to Liverpool so far this season, and he continued from where he stopped last season. Now, Liverpool is not going to be very strong defensively. They're going to have Van Dijk. Even with him before, they've been having issues, in that department. Gakpo is a player that works very hard for Liverpool, which means, like, having said what's going on with their defense going into this game, they need to be very strong in the midfield and attack. They need to defend from the attack and the midfield. This is a dilemma for Klopp, because to find a way to have Gakpo in the team, which, looking at the makeup of the midfield right now, they have Endo sitting, you have McAllister, you have Szoboszlai, who helps them to drive, in a transition of the team. Then you have Gakpo and McAllister. Then up front, you have these three players. You have Diaz, who looks to have sealed his position on the left side. Salah, of course, is a no-go area. Then you have the middle. Núñez is there. Jota is there. Gakpo is there. So what will you do if you were to be Klopp in this situation?
I would drop one of Gakpo or McAllister. Actually, I would drop for this game against Brighton. I would drop one of Gakpo or Szoboszlai. I would play McAllister against his old team. I think he'll be useful and he'll be motivated. I think that with that, there'll be balance. And play Endo because you're going to need someone to block the channels and spaces that Brighton will exploit. So you need at least two defensive-minded midfielders that can also create something. One that is defensive-minded that can also create, and that will be McAllister and Endo being there sitting, right? So when you have Gakpo and McAllister, Gakpo is very physical and can also do some defensive work. With that, at least you can allow some freedom for the forwards and be able to still be a bit secure in the middle and heading towards the back.
Okay, fair enough. I hear you, but me, I will find a way to get Gabo in that team. I probably will even bench Diaz and start Gabo on the left, play Salah on the right. Someone's like it's very important too to what Liverpool have done so far, especially in transition. Like McAllister, like you said, is going to give you a lot of tenacity and grit in the midfield. Endo is bought for that as well. Someone's like is a player that that is slick and creates, and he also tried to get at the end of things as well to score goals and create assists. So I think they need him in that midfield. David Nunes, of course, have made a case for himself already. So either way you go, it's not going to look bad in the eye. It depends on how the game, comes and goes. Then people begin to see errors in whoever you select. Minus Jota, any other of these guys that starts the game is supposed to give Liverpool fans value for their money, or anybody that watches the game. So it looks like this is going to be another interesting game for this weekend. And considering the fact that Liverpool need to consolidate their position in the league table before it runs away from them. No, before it runs away from them. So, Aston Villa, on the other hand, as well, winning this game they probably will go above Liverpool on the table. So it's going to be very, very interesting. And at the same time, as much as these teams want to win this game, they also must avoid defeat. So it's going to be very interesting, and we look forward to it. Then we'll get to the game of the weekend. Sure. Before we go, as usual, we're going to do our predictions. Predictions of the weekend. Chima. Let's see. We have Burnley at home to Spurs.
Do I type it here or do I say it?
Don't say it. If our viewers want to hear.
Burnley and Spurs, I give it to Tottenham.
Mm-hmm. Scores.
I'm going for 1-1. 1-1.
Okay, you change your mind.
Yeah, 1-1.
Ugu?
For Burnley and Spurs?
Yes.
1-0 Spurs.
I'll go 2-1 Spurs. Chelsea at home to Nottingham Forest. Chima, let's go.
2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Ugu?
2-1 Chelsea.
This one, I'll go 1-1.
It's just the disrespect. That's what pisses me off sometimes, but it's all right.
I'm looking at Nottingham Forest. Chelsea find it difficult to score goals. Forget about the last game that you play. That's what you look at. They don't just score. I don't use emotion. You look at the teams, what they have.
It's okay.
What the other teams have. Nottingham Forest, they tend to defend, and they find a way to find goals. So we see. Okay, Newcastle away to Brighton. One of the most.
I think there will be a lot of goals in that game. I'm giving it 3-2 to Newcastle.
Okay. Who?
Giving it a 2-2 draw.
Okay. 2-2. Brighton at home to Newcastle. Newcastle win 2-1. Liverpool at home to Aston Villa.
I'll give it 3-1 Liverpool.
3-1. Ugo?
I'll do 3-2 Liverpool.
I'll go 2-2. The game of the weekend, Arsenal at home at the Emirates to United.
Really 1-1.
Okay, Ugo.
2-1 Arsenal.
It's 2-1 Arsenal. This one will be 3-1 Arsenal. United have issues in their defense this weekend. Yeah, so our viewers, we remind you one more time, if you have not subscribed, like I said in the beginning of the show, our record shows that 60% of our viewers are not subscribed to this channel. So help us, we are begging you, we are counting on you. We are now, remember we on our way to the 2,000 subscribers, we are still not there yet. So we expect you to subscribe, hit the like button, and keep up the good work you're doing on the comment section. Let's know what you think about our predictions, our reviews of the games, and what we have said about the coaches and the approach to the games, and the transfer that happened the last 24 hours. Let us know what you think about them in the comment section. Give us your views, give us your point, and let's see how it's going to go this weekend. And we want to also let you know we'll be seeing the post on the channel. Keep your eye on the channel. We'll let you know we're going live on Saturday to review the transfer window for the week, for the season, for the summer, when the players that came into clubs and what they expected to do in their clubs. We'll also be looking at the UEFA draw that was done today. Time did not allow us to look at it this evening. We'll be looking at that, those draws, make predictions about the English teams, who is going to win the groups and who potentially will drop into Europa and of course, out of the competition entirely. So we'll be doing that on Saturday. So tomorrow, look out for the flyer, for the timing, and turn on your notification button so that you get the notification when the link is dropped. So we want that to be a very interactive session between us and our viewers. Chat with us live, ask questions. We're going to take your questions on this on the UEFA draw that was done. You also know that within the week, the PFA awards we are giving, Arsenal and City predominantly took most of the awards and made the team of the season. So we're going to discuss all this on the live session on Saturday. That's going to be the first one of this channel. So we expect a lot of our viewers to be on that show. Give us your feedback, ask us your questions, and I will go from there. So, guys, thank you for coming to the show. Ugo, any words for our viewers before we go?
No, thank you guys for joining us. Please continue to share, continue to invite others to watch, and we continue on this journey. We're just starting, and we look forward to a wonderful season for everyone.
Chima.
Well, viewers, I just want to thank you guys for comments. I would love if you will go to comment section and tell us what you feel about, or tell us if we are, if you're Chelsea fans, if you're Arsenal fans, just give us what we are doing. Are we really holding it for our teams? Are we holding it for our fans, our supporters? Go there and tell us what you feel about what we're doing. And we believe that your comments will encourage us to put up more shows. Thank you so much.
Yeah, here we go. Peace out.